There he is.
Dude.
My booty popping country music rock star and Eminem doppelganger, Judah Akers. What's up, man? How are you?
Dude, what's up? Doing well, man. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good, considering the times, man. Are you in Nashville?
Yeah, I'm in East Nashville at our home here. We've been pretty much stuck, not stuck here, but here trying to live happily in our house here in East Nashville. It's kind of opened up a little bit more in Nashville, but there's still kind of like a lot more, restaurants and stuff that aren't open and stuff like that. So we're trying to kind of keep our distance and be safe.
Yeah. Now in Nashville, can you guys go inside restaurants now, or is it like carry out or patio only?
Yeah, technically, we're in phase 3. So
yeah,
I think technically restaurants are allowed, but most restaurants aren't doing it. So we've been doing like the takeout, and especially here in East Nashville, where a lot of restaurants were really affected by the tornadoes that came in.
That's right. Yeah.
So we've tried to go and support the best we can, like with takeout and stuff like that.
Yeah. So what have you been doing in quarantine? Are you in a studio? I see a microphone in your windscreen there.
Yeah, dude. This is my it's kind of a studio. This is my like kind of studio area. It's kind of a room about that.
It's a little bit janky right now. Oh no!
You're kicked off. It's like, all right.
No. Oh, okay, we might have it. We might be good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, cool. I think we're good now. So yeah, you got a little studio going on there?
Yeah, this is like a studio, like more for like songwriting. What I do, but
oh man, it keeps
skipping. Kind of a nice space to have during all of it.
Okay, there we go. Sorry. Can you say that again? It was skipped a little bit. I don't know why.
If it's me, I don't. You know if it's me, like my connection, because a lot of people on here know that I have terrible internet. So,
yeah, somebody said.
So I can move downstairs if it gets worse. But yeah, this is kind of like the loft studio area that I've been doing like a lot of writing and stuff during this time.
That's pretty bad. Have you been actually playing or just kind of writing a lot?
Yeah, honestly just writing a whole lot. I kind of invested in like a nice microphone and some stuff right before quarantine, kind of ironically. So even some of the vocals that you hear on Beautiful Anyway were done up here just in my loft. So it's been a convenient thing to have during this time for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, you said you've been trying to stay inside and trying to stay safe. Have your habits changed at all? Have you noticed anything different about? I mean, other than not going out, but just like personal habits of what you do daily?
Yeah. I mean, I think for me, I'm so passionate about music, and I love songwriting. I love touring. Obviously, not being able to tour for us has been really hard. The band, like we've, I guess, kind of earned our stripes on the road a little bit, and just like with doing, around 200 shows a year since we started, and so not being able to tour and stuff has been, been a struggle. But I've gotten back into like a little bit more of like my roots and who I am. I'm from Cookeville, so that's just up the road, and my dad's got this old like feeder Mastercraft like 1980s ski boat. So on this lake that I grew up going to, I've just been going out and trying to learn how to relearn how to, get out on a boat and just kind of chill and like slow things down for me. I'm very like passionate, loud, kind of everything's kind of fast up here, personality. So during this time, it's been nice to kind of try to slow down, get back to kind of like going to the lake, grill, like put stuff on the grill, just kind of really kind of take this in as rest and like for my mental health, especially because when you're on the road, you don't really think about it, but you're processing through a lot of stuff that's happening in your life, whether it be good or bad things, and the road's amazing, but it's also can serve as like a distraction to like mental health. And you get bad news about home, but then you go out and you have to play a show. I mean, you get it probably with radio. It's the same thing. It's like you have to put on the face or whatever.
Yeah.
So like the last 4 months or whatever being off, and not being on the road when we had a big tour planned, you know, you're kind of forced to face those things. So it's been beautiful and hard and epic and awful all at the.
I know. It's like, yeah, it's such a weird time to live in. Everything is so confusing, and you don't know what's going to happen. But when guys do get back, you guys going to remember how to play and how to. You're going to be nervous again when you go back out there for the first time.
I actually was talking to Brian about that in the band, which I think I was supposed to show y'all the video. They sent like a little video for y'all to see.
Oh,
this is going to be really weird.
That's cool.
What's up, Pro 96? What's up, Reed? I wish I could be there for the live. I know you guys are going to have some great combos, some deep talks. We love you guys, and we're super thankful for all of your support to us as a band during this time. We'll be watching. See ya.
That is awesome. Oh, my God.
This is like 2020 right here, dude.
Judah and the Lion. Super bummed that we all can't be together to join in live, but just want to say thank you so much for all of your support throughout the years, and especially on our new song, Beautiful Anyway. Hope that you all are doing super well, and to everyone watching, wishing you the best. Have fun hanging out with Judah, and we can't wait to see you in person when all.
Epic.
See, that's just one of the reasons why we love you guys so much. You guys are that. It's awesome. Tell them what up when you see them, or if they're in here, what up, guys? Thank you. That's so cool. Do you get to hang out with them and see them a lot? Or no?
So Nate's in Colorado. He's a full-on mountain boy. Loves the snowboard, and he lives for the snow and stuff. And so he's been out there since the start of the year, really. And then Brian, during quarantine, which we're still kind of practicing, as far as like just kind of trying to be outside and blah blah. Brian and Maddie, his wife, they came over for like some drinks and stuff on the porch. So we actually, me and Brian actually got to write today, which was amazing. And so yeah, it's been fun to kind of navigate these waters as a band. Like, how do we Zoom write? Does it work?
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of or sticky. And it actually, at the start of it, it was kind of exciting. I think it's starting to feel a little bit more sticky to me. Just like I'm just ready to. I'm such a physical person. I like to like high five and.
Yeah, me too.
When you're like, when you have something that clicks like melodically or lyrically, and you're like pumped, I'm like a big high five. So on it, you can't really do that, in a good spot on Zoom. So
no, it's weird when this whole thing first came about. And we started doing a lot of like artist interviews. It was kind of strange at first because some people I've never spoken to before, and we're talking like we're best friends, and it's face to face, which I don't FaceTime with a lot of my private life anyways. So I'm like, oh, this is strange, but it's getting more normal, and you just approach it differently. It's the world we live in. So,
yeah, I had a good ride with K-Flay, and we talked just kind of like about how. When you're on tour, you pretty much live your life through FaceTime, like with people that you love back home. And so there's a lot of ways to feel prepared for it, but there's still nothing like that physicalness of music that, like when you're writing or whatever, that you just kind of miss. So look forward to the times we get to be back together for sure.
Yeah. So what do you think the future of live music is going to be like? Are we going to start doing smaller shows? Like 250 shows, and then just keep going more and more? Is that what you think is going to happen? Or?
I don't know. I mean, there's so many rumors right now that are kind of floating around the music industry as far as from the artist's perspective via like our booking agents. And, obviously like everybody's trying to figure this whole thing out. You at least for me, it's like it's kind of hard to know what to believe at this time. And everybody kind of has a different story, different perspective on it. And I think with music, one, I can't wait for the shows because I feel like the shows are going to be so much more emotional is kind of the wrong word, but like so much more heavy, like in a good way.
The meaningful, like just.
Yeah, I mean, I think, that's one of the things that you take for granted, right? I mean, obviously, like, there's so many more important things that have been hard for people outside of shows, but you know, that's something, at least for me, like being able to go to a show in Nashville is like, you know, every night you could go to a show if you wanted. And yeah, I just think the emotional stakes are going to be a little bit higher, and I don't know. I feel like when you have something as simple as a concert or whatever, a live show that's taken away from you for a while, and if you're a music lover or an artist, and that's like where you connect, just those shows are going to be outlandish. But yeah, I don't know as far as, you know, we had a big tour this summer that was kind of planned, but obviously got canceled. And then we were hoping for the fall, and now we're hearing not till 2021. And you're kind of hearing a little bit about the movie theater shows or the outdoor movie theater shows. That could be fun, but then like you don't really know how the audio is going to be, if it's going to go through like the radio stations in people's cars, or if they're going to fly a PA and blah, put it as best we can. And just figure out, okay, when we do come back, how do we make this, you know, an amazing show, like what people deserve now after a time like this, and then try to make art in the meantime, and just kind of keep trucking along is what we do.
Yeah, I mean, well, whatever happens, the first show back is going to be something worth seeing. I mean, I can't even imagine. Let's talk about, I believe it's your latest track, Beautiful Anyway. I featured it on my segment, Top Prospects, and I think it's a really important song for people to hear because of what it's about. And I don't know if it's true, but I read somewhere that you wrote that song for Nate. Is that true? And can you tell us, for people who don't know or haven't heard it, what the song is actually about?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so in the last couple years, a lot of friends of mine, and coming out with our last, if you kind of backtrack about a year and a half ago, or whenever our last record came out with, I'm horrible with dates, but call it a year. I guess it was a year in May, and throughout that, throughout touring on that, throughout the contents of just the record kind of being emotionally heavy, dealing with mental health, divorce, alcoholism, blah blah blah. A lot of the stories that were told to me during meet and greets were matched with that, I guess, vulnerability or that emotional level. And so hearing on the night, just someone that's coming to the show that they're struggling with suicidal thoughts, or their friend committed suicide, or maybe their dad or mom deals with alcoholism. You know, it was just like a lot to hear that so many people in our world are going through so many hard things, and then to have one of my, you know, best buds, Nate, really just kind of open up about just like what he was going through mentally. I don't go into the details of it, but he was just having like a really hard time, and it's just like, and I had a couple more friends back home that were struggling with suicidal thoughts and kind of hating themselves, and it, you know, when it's like your close friend that you can see and you're like, oh God, I'm so sorry that you deal with this, and I know how you feel, but as a friend, like, you're so amazing, and like I you know, we all have our insecurities and have things that we deal with, and I've had my bouts with depression and stuff like that, but to have like a friend come up and say that, you know, that he's struggling this way, it just it made me like wanted to explode, just like with empathy towards him, towards all the people in these stories, and that's like a reality that family members of mine have dealt with, and yeah, so the song kind of came from this thought of, you know, even though people go through those thoughts and have these struggles of just like wanting to, you know, give in or give up, or in a very human way, it just I wanted to kind of take that lie and like turn it on its head and just be like, no, like, that's okay that you feel that way, but you're like, you should see like the gold in yourself the way that I'm trying to see it. And because I think it's like, for us humans, it's so easy to see, if we try to be kind and good, it's so easy for us to see the gold in people and to try to bring that out. But it sometimes can be really hard to see that in ourselves. And so this song is kind of almost like wanting to scream at a friend's ear and say, like, I know this is kind of medical, and I know that this is clinical, and it sucks that you're going through this, but try to see that you're awesome, you know. And the bridge is kind of this thought of just like embrace the pain, and through that, like, breathe deep and know that, like, you're loved and you're known, and just because you're here on earth gives you the right to be loved. And so yeah, it comes definitely from a deep place. It was like one of those songs that came really quickly too. It was like written in a few minutes, and just kind of up here in my life, just by myself, and I was like crying and all emotional, and yeah, just I hope that it can speak to people that are dealing with maybe minor versions of that or bigger versions of that, and can, like, acknowledge that what they're going through is real and it sucks, but, like, fighting for it and choosing, like, to know that you're beautiful and loved by people is the most important thing that we can do.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing. I'm sure most people in here have heard that song, but if you haven't heard that song, definitely check it out, because, I mean, it helps. So we appreciate you for writing and creating a song like that. You guys are the best. And the last time you guys were actually here in Minneapolis, you guys, you did, I think it was one of those, like, panic room things from all of them. Is that what it was? Yeah, and I'm so mad because I think you did it when I was here, so I wasn't able to go. But I saw the recap videos on that. It looked awesome. But you guys also got a chance, from what I heard, to check out the roller coaster, right?
We did. Nate is like a big roller coaster guy, so it was really funny. We went, like, right there, right before it was closing, and Nate was like, "I'm buying everybody tickets," and so we just went and hopped on. It was like, it's like a 30-second ride, you know, for like $20. But it was so fun. That night was really special. I'm pretty sure my team won, or at least I'll say that.
Yeah, I think I heard that. Like, was it your team was like the quickest one or something like that? You guys were like bang, 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 you got it.
I think what they said it was like, this is like the smartest group that we've ever seen, or something like that. That they kind of told that. It was like, y'all are either the smartest or, like, the coolest, you know. I don't know. They said something. They gave us some reward.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it was smartest, because they talked about it like our next week's meeting, and I was like, okay, all right. So good job. And I just got one more thing for you, and I'm only asking this because I know you guys have such positive vibes, and just the nature of you guys in general. If you could have a positive message for people that are worrying right now about everything going on, racial injustice, police brutality, if you could tell them something to maybe calm them down a little bit, what do you think it would be?
Well, you know, in the middle of all this, I had a really close friend pass, and it was like kind of right when the rioting and stuff was kind of happening, and it just was a moment for me where I tend to be optimistic. You could probably hear that in music, but it was one of those moments where, like, just this fog kind of came over me, and I was like, what is happening with the world? And I was kind of getting panicky and kind of shaky, and I called my uncle, and then I called my therapist. And just during kind of this breakdown moment, I can't remember if it was my therapist or my uncle, whatever. They're both kind of like close friends of mine. They said to me, it's like, you're having a normal reaction to something that's abnormal. And when that was said over me, I was just like, oh, thank God I'm not, like, an insane person. Because obviously with everything that's kind of happening with isolation, with all this racial injustice that's happened in our country forever, and now kind of coming to its head in a very, hard way after isolation, and to kind of go on your Twitter or go on the news and see something negative that's kind of continuing to happen. Just that freedom of just being like, if you are worried or if you are dealing with, like, don't think that you're not wrong for thinking that way. And I think that's like, for me at least, I found like a lot of freedom in that, because it kind of opened me up to, like, we had a friend get hit by a drunk driver, and then I got news about my friend passing, and it was just like this just slap in the face of, like, 2020 is like not only affecting the world, but it's affecting this, you know, portion of life. And I have so many friends, and I'm sure so many people that it's affecting that way, like on a real level as well. But I think what we can all look at is, you know, the pain and everything that we're feeling right now is real, and the worry and the anxiety, it comes with a season like this. But I think it's all the more reason to fight through it and to kind of grab a hold of each other and, like, have empathy, extreme empathy for people. Because my big thing, just with talking with friends, is like, it's not, the question right now shouldn't be like you were wrong or you were right. It should be, how do you feel? And I think as humans, if we can have empathy for each other and try to be kind and see the best in each other, then that's what's going to kind of move us all forward. Because I know that everybody's dealing with some version of level of anxiety right now. And yeah, you're not just, I guess what I'm trying to say with it in a roundabout way is, like, you're not alone, you're loved, and we're going to get through this together. It's what we do as humans.
Absolutely. Judah, you are the man. Nate, Brian, you guys are the man. Make sure that Minnesota loves them, and we can't wait to see you guys here. And just thank you so much for doing it, and keep on putting out that music, man. You guys are great.
Yeah, dude, love you guys so much. And seriously, like, this you know, would have never, like, when I wrote it, I called I don't know who I called, I think our manager, he's also a close friend, and I was like, I just wrote, I think, one of my favorite songs that I've written, but I don't think it's a radio song, or you know, it might not fit on the radio. And just the fact that you guys are supporting a song like this, that this message that's so important to me can get out, you know, to more ears than what you know, we would be able to do on our own. It just means a whole lot. So thank you guys, and I can't wait to come back in the studio and see you guys, or go play the escape game, or
yes,
at least hug and kiss everybody, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully we get you guys back here soon. Hopefully we can do something soon, and you guys can go out on tour and continue to do what you do. But that's all I got for you today, Jonah. Thank you so much. And again, tell the boys hi, and we hope to see you.
Love you, dude.
Thanks, man. Love you guys.